Do you ever wonder that what separates a topper from an average student? Is it their intelligence or is there something else to play? So, hey everyone, it's Kuzi Diary, and in this video, we are going to talk about the key differences between a topper and an average student. Spoiler alert, this is not about being smarter, but about how actively you engage with the concept and the topics. Now, let's talk about the fundamental differences of how different students approach study very differently. First, an average student, what they do is that they go to the lecture or classes, they come back, do their homework, and read the book very passively, underline each and every sentence, and highlights everything in multiple colors, and their book is just like a rainbow. They copy the entire textbook in the name of notes. There is very little engagement with the actual topic, and they just go through the entire material instead of actually learning anything. Now, the topper, on the other hand, actively engages with the material. Instead of just reading, they focus on understanding the concepts better. They make connections between different topics and think critically about the material. This makes the information more memorable and easier to apply. So, the first thing I will say is find out the topics that are really important. So, what I have seen is most of the people, they just read anything, like they just want to get this feel that, oh, I'm studying, I'm reading, but they are just reading a bunch of useless stuff that doesn't really come in the exam. So the first thing that you should do is go through the your entire curriculum or your whole syllabus of that particular exam, what topics you should read. Then for each chapters, go to the learning objectives that is present in your textbook before the chapter. Now, you should read some past papers or see what questions are asked in exam. So after you have done all this, now you know that what part of the chapter is important, and now you can start to study. And if you do not want to do this, then the best would be go for a lecture from a good teacher or a nice teacher who you are familiar with, because they have been in this field for very long years and they know exactly what questions are going to come up in exams, what MCQ are more important. So I will advise everyone that instead of following a book, follow a teacher. Okay, they will help you much more better than any kind of books, or they have much more knowledge and experience. The next thing that I would want to say is, do not waste too much of your time into homeworks, or to be particular, useless homeworks that do not have any meaning, that do not contribute anything into your learning. They are just passive copying of answers from others' copies. The next thing I will say is, do not do useless and unnecessary stuff in the name of learning, in the name of studying. I have seen most of the people, they waste so much of time into making their file drawings by making it aesthetic so that the teacher will like it, but they don't even care. As long as it is correct, they don't care enough. So do not waste so much of your time in it. And do not try to be so much aesthetic with your notes, trying to copy everything, write everything down, which I know that you're not going to remember up until the end. And I have seen a lot of people who decorate their projects a lot by using multiple colors, this, that, something, but they could not even pass the final exam. So do not be like that. Now let's come to exam preparation or revision, which most of the average student never get to the stage of revision because they could never understand properly, because of which they never get to the stage of revision. But even if they do, what they do, the mistake is that they again read it very passively. They do not have any pen or paper on hand. They're just trying to read this like mitochondria is a powerhouse. Mitochondria is a powerhouse. But you do not have to do it like that. Okay. Now, how to actually revise? First, you should have prepared a good note, a already nice note, a very short type of, not like what is force is this. No, not that. Only the formulas of the chapter. How to do revision is, first to take out a pen and a paper. Then, when you start to revise a topic, you should write everything related to the topic that comes into your mind, and then open your book or open your notes and then see what's similar and what's left out, what did you do the mistake and everything, and now read the part that you forgot or that you did wrong. Or you can use active recall method. You can use a flashcards. You can ask your siblings or your parents to, like to ask you the questions about that topic. So doing this will actually force your brain to remember the content of that particular chapter, and reinforce everything. And this reinforces what you know and fill in the gaps of our understanding. One more mistake that average students do is they do not keep a track of their exam result. You see, whenever we give a test and get a result, we should always mark what is full mark and how much mark did you get, what mistake did you do, and why that mistake happened. Was it a silly mistake, or was it something that you forgot, or was it any concept mistake or anything, and also from what chapters did you actually did a mistake. And we should do it for each and every test that we give, and then keep a track into it. Also, write every mistake that you do in a notebook, and read the notebook time to time, again and again, so that you never repeat the same mistake again. So the next and most important thing is consistency. You see, a topper understands that studying is not about one day, it's not about 2 day or a week. It's about every single day, whether it is a holiday, whether it is a festival or any family function or anything. You have to study every single day. There is no second option, okay? It's not that, oh, I studied for 12 hours today. Now I'm going to take a rest for 3 days. No. Even if you study for like 4 to 5 hours, do it every single day, every day. It is very important to be consistent, and for this you need to build a discipline, a proper mindset. And you know what this is, smart work versus hard work. But in reality, I think hard work is much more important than smart work. It is important to be smart or have a smarter approach, but everything is useless if you do not work hard or if you do not study hard. The next thing I will say is you should never rely on motivation. Motivation will only last for 1 day or 2 days. It will get you started, but consistency and discipline is what keeps you going. You do not have to rely on motivation to get out of the bed. Your self discipline and consistency will. The one key difference between topper and the average student, I will say, is that studying becomes a habit for toppers. It is not something they see as a task to check up from the to do list. It's simply a part of their daily routine. It is as normal as brushing your teeth after waking up. So it feels natural and automatic. For them, studying is not something they have been forced to do so, but something they want to do because they have ingrained it into their lifestyle. And also, by saying that it is a habit does not mean that it is easy. It is still difficult, but they just have to get to it. In the end, the difference between a topper and an average student is not about smarter or working harder. It's about how they approach learning. Top students turn studying into a habit, not a task. They engage actively with the material, prioritize what truly matters, and stay consistent every day. They see learning as a long-term process and not a short-term fix. So if you want to elevate your academic process, start building the habits that will set you up for success. Focus on the key concept, test yourself, and make studying a natural part of your routine. Remember, success is not just about getting good grades, it is about developing discipline and consistency that will lead you to long-term growth. So that's it for today's video. If you found the tips helpful, then make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment the part that you like the most. And if you want to know more about the time management, making notes, and other things, make sure to check out my other videos also. Thank you.